first pick that's up here? Rise. Rise is still available. It's going to be banned away. So what's the selection here for AL? Where is the priority? It was a bit awkward in the last game, Raafaa, where the priority of this draft end up going, but it's the Ashe.
Ooh. Okay.
Wow. I mean, Braum and Seraphine are both up, so I don't hate the early Ashe.
Does WE go for... best skirmishing junglers up right now? There's Wukong, there's Vi. Both are pretty good. You can pick Jace and flex it if you want, but after witnessing Cube on the Gwen, I don't know if I feel confident giving him any kind of carry champion right now against Flandre. I think WE are unfortunately better off just saying, Cube, just pick a tank. We know you're going to probably lose priority in that matchup. Just survive and be useful later on when it comes to team fights. So, poke comp being set up for WE.
This is going to happen. I don't know. I think you had to take the Seraphine away. I know that you can play Ezreal Braum. This is probably still going to end up being a Seraphine. I mean, you can play Ashe Braum. I think that that's okay, but like, it's pretty tough for WE to... I think the answer here is AL can take either. They can take Seraphine. It's great. There's no answer. They can take Braum. It's great. There's no answer. There's no Karma for the Seraphine. There's no Nico. There's no Lulu. They can't pick Braum. Yeah. It's not... it's not an option, right? So now you've got to go... we're dropping support. This is really tough to play out. If you play the Sylas, you can steal the Seraphine ult, I guess. I don't really love the Sylas here. I would think you have to go something in the support. I think that the pick for Yaoyao here is incredibly difficult. There is no Lulu. There's no Karma. There's no Nico. Maybe you go Bard. Is an option here in the with the immobile Ashe and Seraphine. It's a ranged bot lane. Other than that, you have to go for some kind of all-in lane. You have to go Ezreal Leona. You have to go Ezreal Rel. And that lane is really hard. You could go Ezreal Nami. I don't know if that's a real lane, though. But the bot lane is already really tough.
This is a tough position to be in as WE. Ashe Seraphine combo has been drafted by anyone's legend, and the only way to beat long-range engage is to have ways to absorb those engages or counteract with your own. That's why we see the Sylas, but I understand the lack of confidence in this draft so far because WE want to poke, but they have to deal with hard engage tools from range that anyone's legend could look for. And even though Vi is one of those tools that you think to yourself, oh, if she dies solo, that's not a good look. She never has to be the first one to make the move. You can fish with arrows and Encore first, and then if it connects, like, all right, well, we're killing this guy.
And the E, is that beat drop? What's the E called on Seraphine? I can't remember, but that's also a great fishing tool as well. So now, I think you want to to pick your, you don't want to blind pick your top. If it is going to be this Jace in the jungle, you could opt to go towards a jungle pick here. I think support is the smarter option and keep the flex available. The Bard is for the lane. If you go Blitzcrank or Alistar, like, this lane is so hard. You're playing for team fights. WE are going to sack their lane. And play for these team fights. The Blitzcrank has... it's got catch potential into the Seraphine, I guess. I'm not a really big fan. This is the Flandre special. I wouldn't be surprised to just see the Rek'Sai picked here. Semi-blind. Again, we don't really know where the Jace is going completely. I would expect it top, but I agree with you, Raafaa. I don't really trust Cube.
I just am enjoying the fact how you are just growing even more and more visibly uncomfortable and audibly uncomfortable with the decisions WE are making in their draft. But I think this is just one of those situations where we can talk about draft, but WE had a solid draft in game one and they just got gapped straight up. Game two, they had a better like a better setup, and they had a better invade, and then one lane's collapse instantly meant that they just got gapped again. So WE, they have to just break the rules at this point. I know it's not going to make sense for us from a standard gameplay sense, but if you just start saying, you know what, we're going to sack bot lane and say, let's just try and go for some blitzcrank shenanigans and roam all around the map. Dude, just break open and play some stuff and throw a curveball at anyone's legend. You can't play standard against them. This Zehen could go jungle, could go top lane.
Yeah, we're keeping the flex, so we'll have to wait and see. I think it's like 20 seconds on this bar. When 20 seconds is up, you can't swap anymore. I would really prefer it how it is right now, with the Zehen in the jungle and the Jace up top. I know maybe nameplate's off, but I'm not a... Like, the Jace got pretty nerfed in the jungle. I think it looks better in the top lane. Like, we saw it completely evaporate from bans in playoffs already, right? It was first pick, first ban for the entirety of Split 1, and now it's getting picked into Game 3 here, and it's in top lane. I think for WE, the draft really doesn't matter that much, genuinely, which is insane to say, because of how badly the lanes have been working for them. If WE want to win a game at all, they need to get to 15 minutes at even. And if they get there, I'm happy for them, but AL have not let them do that at all. And I think bot lane, I genuinely think bot lane is going to be 3,000 gold up very quickly. I think this lane is very strong, and I'm not sure if Blitzcrank Ezreal is the way to deal with it. But, again, we're in the wall. We are beyond backs in the wall, backs against the wall for WE here. Maybe the Blitzcrank is the secret key here to finding some gold.
We are so far into the wall that it is probably just broken at this point. We have broken past the wall. Like, we've talking about breaking the fourth wall. I mean, anyone's legend have broken more than the fourth wall. They've broken their backs at this point as well. But we'll see if WE can pull off some magic as we head to Summoner's Rift for Game 3.
You know what you just reminded me of then?
What's that?
Ooh, the WE chants have gotten very quiet, I will say. But with the, like, AL... Alright, you gotta let this go through. You gotta hear this one out. AL are Bane, okay? And WE are Batman, okay? But it's the scene where Bane says, you know, what? I wonder what will break first, your mind or your body, and he breaks Batman's back in the Dark Knight Rises movie. And we haven't currently gotten to the part where Batman comes back. Maybe Split 2, we could see a comeback, and Team WE can take a game off of AL or a series even, and then I will be calling this back. But right now, the back is being broken by AL, and I hope, you know, that's not necessarily going to be the case, but it's not been a comfortable series for WE so far.
Nope. It's definitely been far from any sense of comfort for WE. They have been thrown their greatest challenge so far in Split 1. They have been able to at least...
Does that say first?
Yes.
Pretty cool.
So, one of the things that we talked about at the beginning of this series, I was expecting Tarzan to be the first one to break out the Zehen jungle, since usually Tarzan is one of our innovators, as well as being... most of the time, the best jungler in the league, and just an overall Giga Chad in bringing new jungles to the fray here in the LPL. Shout out to his Zed jungle performances back in 2025. But Monki is going to be bringing the Zehen flavor to the Rift for the first time in the LPL. But we've already talked about that Zehen jungle has been played worldwide already. Yeah,
the Zahungle has been getting some playtime in... the other major regions that we've, the LPL is, we took a break. You know, there were some celebrations to be had. This doesn't look great. If that shove hit, Karis didn't flash, he was dead. Just want to let that be known. He has Electrocute and Doran's Ring, so he'll have to base already. But yeah, the LPL bit behind on like timing with the way that the break was taken, but in now to see what the priorities are, and it's relatively the same. The Panther Nocturne hasn't been so far as high as I expected it to be, but ends up you know, still getting picked and banned. We're going in, but this bot lane is going to be largely important to how this game goes, right? Already the bases from WE are not looking good, but the CS is not too bad. The Blitzcrank will either, you know, get a massive book and change the entire game, or will do absolutely nothing. There's no middle ground.
Monki does have first move from Karis, so he can make this aggressive play. Pulls Tarzan back in.
Oof.
That gets Tarzan's flash out. So, once again, similar to game 2, where Monki, not being set far behind early on, is able to get the better of Tarzan in these early skirmishes.
Very nice. I think Monki's had a good start to these games. He's been intelligently pathing. Karis is on the roam with him after that reset. So, yeah, very nice play from WE. And you know what? We're past 3 minutes and no one has died. That's a first for this series so far.
Cube has a CS lead too, man. I mean, this is quite the start. Cube going for the solo kill, 1v1 down the tower. Oh no! Just put the fries in the bag, bro. Hang it up, man. Oh, I can't. I can't defend him.
You can't be cursing him like that, okay? I was kind of trying to be a little ambiguous with how I was saying it, and then you just said Cube has a CS lead, and then he just dies. He dives on the tower, and is he dead again?
And Flandre hits level 6. Cube has no flash, no way out, no hose, no bros, just a one-way trip back to the fountain. Flandre is gonna sit him down and show him who's the father in this top lane.
Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. I've seen enough. Yanni? Sorry. Raafaa. Never buy a lottery ticket. That was horrible. All right? There was, like, the sentence had barely finished leaving your mouth, and Cube has died twice. I don't want to, like, if you ever tell me, you know, stocks of it, I'm not listening. I'm going the other way. If you say, you know, like, oh, I think, like, this person's going to win the race, no, they're coming last. That was the worst curse I've ever seen in my life.
It literally manifested it in the worst way possible. I apologize, but also that ain't on me. That's on Cube, man.
I wasn't a part of this.
Listen, I was calling it as I saw it, and I didn't say anything.
He did have a CS lead.
Yeah,
he still does, to be fair.
I was
he still
speaking
does
the
have
truth.
a CS lead. Your Honor, I speak the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Exactly.
And the truth is, there were some mistakes that happened in top lane.
Yes, indeed.
That did happen, but it's okay because AL haven't, like, game 1, there was already like a 2,000 gold lead for AL. So it's only top, and it's only 400 gold, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Right?
All things considered, I know that dying back-to-back twice, first on your decision to commit to the dive and getting outplayed, and then Flandre TPing back and outplaying it. Hang on, Shanks might be in trouble. Tarzan, ball break over the wall, and it means that Karis is now in a world of trouble. Pops the encore that he stole from the Seraphine. Unfortunately, just not enough to finish off Shanks. And now Yaoyao forced to flash away and is completely in a world of trouble. He's in enemy territory, and that Ash Arrow will signal the death of him. The fight continues as Monki's gonna get knocked up. Cease and desist into the unraveled Earth Seismic Shove combo. Monki managing to pop Tarzan before he goes down. Monki trying to survive the flash auto attack from Kael. Ensures that Monki's death will be the high note for Kael Seraphine.
Maybe we should, like, I'm trying to think about how we avoid this. Maybe we just... look, I'm really struggling to find... I can't lie. So, like, Yaoyao goes behind for, like, this flank blitzcrank play, and then he just sits there and watches his team die. Hook the Vi, bro! He's charging punch. Hook him. There's no raptors in the way, please. Anyway, I'm calm. WE had a stable game state. Maybe we should just stop making plays. I'm not exactly sure, because whenever WE in this series, mostly in this game, have made decisions, they haven't gone well. This guy's watching his phone. Like, he knows.
He knows. He knows. He knows. Oh, I cannot believe I didn't even take into stock that Yaoyao was there the entire time, and watching that replay just made me infuriated. Monki. Oh!
He got one.
Okay, wait. All right. I thought he smited.
Can't see. We'll have to wait until all the quests are done, and then we'll get the grubs graphic, because we were in like replay, I think, when the first one was done. I'm pretty sure it was 2 for AL and 1 for WE, but we'll have to see. It might have been maybe Monki got that third one and was able to get 2. But honestly, in a sea of loss, how much does 1 or 2 grubs really bring you back? Not a ton, but it's something. All right, I will say, this is not the worst game we've seen so far in terms of how the gold has looked at 10 minutes.
Okay, Yaoyao, hit this hook. Hit him. Okay, Encore slows him down. Blitzcrank hook goes wide. All right. Oh, but the W hook from Monki connects on the Hope. Has no flash, tries to flash away to the right side, pops the barrier, ends up going down. And Monki's sheer force of will at least guarantee WE get a second kill this game.
And Cube doesn't die on the weak side. Very nice. I'm surprised Hope flushed in there for the 1-for-1 trade. I think he was definitely out there, but loses both summoner spells, so there is a possibility for something to be done back in the bot lane again. Oh, Karis?
One more auto attack. Oh, Shanks with the style points. Q flash to guarantee the kill. Karis down 2 deaths, and Shanks is up almost 1,000 gold in this matchup.
That game 2 was a bit of a blip in the radar of the mid lane matchup. I think Karis had a good game 2, nearly found a solo kill, was up gold, and now we're looking back to kind of what we saw in game number 1, where Shanks takes the better end of a winning matchup and shows that his laning is very dominant. Talia as well is a champion that does take time normally to get rolling. This was face up Talia. The Silas was just picked into it. There's not really a great ult to steal. Like, yeah, you have Ambassador ult and Vi ult and Seraphine ult, but that's not normally what you go like, oh man, this is an amazing Silas angle. It's not an Alistar ult or a Nara ult. And Tarzan is in this brush. He's blocking this gank really well.
Asher onto a bout, pops the cleanse, and Tarzan springs the trap onto an unknowing Monki, who tries to go in the Grim Deliverance, still surviving for now, but Tarzan has already eliminated Yaoyao. Shanks has arrived to the party and will punish Karis, trying to double down on this play. Monki forced to retreat. The Vault Breaker clips about in the face, and it's a 10-2 kill lead for anyone's legend.
Yeah, it really does feel... I know that I said this as a joke originally. It really feels like any time that WE are making a play, they're making a decision, AL are just aware of what is going on. Every time AL are coming up positive when WE are making the plays. Tarzan, this is so intelligent to sit here and block the engage that Vi does. This is something Vi does so well. Punches Yaoyao away. Ults there's a hand, so he can't engage on the backline. And then the roam that's late from Shanks, but he has his ult, so he joins, get a really nice shove on Karis, and AL come up on top yet again.
What was the gold lead? 4,000 now? Yeah.
Too much.
Too much. The wallet diff is starting to expand in the Panda's favor. And I know that the slogan says anything is possible, but WE's chances of making anything happen is starting to be really slim. Monki forced to flash away from the Encore. And anyone's legend going to gain some priority in this mid lane. They already took the 2 first dragons of the game. So we still have about another 4 minutes before that third one starts to spawn, and it's an Infernal Soul, Jbetto. So if you already thought that this lead from anyone's legend was devastating enough, imagine getting blasted by Infernal Soul procs. Karis trying to look for the collapse onto Kael. There's no Encore as he steals and hijacks one of his own. Flash Encore, what the hell? Flandre comes in from far before public execution, takes out Karis, and completely turns the tides of the battle. WE don't get a single kill, completely embarrassed by the Pandas, and they are just running away with the series on this one.
Yeah, just wrap it up. I think it's about time. AL are, like you said, they're completely embarrassing WE. They're dancing on them. Hope sidesteps the hook. Kael, engaged by everyone, lives, and not going to be a delayed ace, as Cube will be able to base. So gracious that AL let him get his base off, but everywhere is winning. Tarzan is the only one without a real gold lead, and he is doing his job, so well. Everyone else is 1,500 or more up in 14 minutes. AL are showing that individually they're better, their team fighting is better, their synergy is better, their macro is better, and again, I think this is a great look for this team who, you know, has got all these MVPs, all these all-team first pros, and is looking to, you know, be a favorite in the LPL to go to first stand.
Yeah. We set up very clear expectations that not only Anyone's Legend were going to be favored in this series, and if they want to establish themselves as the best, if not one of the representatives of LPL going into first stand, when you're playing against teams like WE coming from Group Perseverance, this is the way to do it. It cannot be anything less than a complete stomp to give LPL the most confidence going into those international tournament scenarios. Dive under the top turret, Vault Breaker, Encore, Unraveler, Seismic Shove, the full combo, and the House Kitchen Sink thrown into the mix as well. Tarzan doesn't even go down. It's just a pristine, clean dive from the Pandas. And now we got a flank scenario coming into the mid lane. Flandre in a 1v2, and he likes these odds so far. He's got backup coming in with the Weaver's Wall. Shanks ready to fly on in and hunt about down. The flash for the Q, throws another rock. Grim Deliverance gets punted back by a quick seismic shove from Shanks. And Monki's passive will only delay the inevitable, but at least buy some time for Monki to survive for now. Relying on Yaoyao and a Cube to be the front line for him as Flandre tries to continue to dance forward, playing on the edge and using the shields from the Eclipse and the W to keep himself alive. WE don't lose out on their jungler, but the devastation is already made happen.
We have just under 5 minutes to break the record. It's pretty tough to do, but the gold is in the right places to have it happen. The problem is that, like, maybe you need Baron to end, and you would need to get Baron on spawn and then win in 50 seconds. And that's, you know, if you kill it within, you know, 2 seconds, which is not happening, so you probably would need to win 30 seconds after you kill Baron. It's probably not happening, but the fact that it's in the conversation in 2026, where the game is so difficult to end, and it's a possibility that you could get the fastest series ever, the fastest best of 5 in the LPL ever, is crazy. But AL just look leagues above.
Oh, Shanks. Some difficulty trying to take down Cube, who is a little bit beefier, going with the Grasp of the Undying rune setup, but still will end up going down to Tarzan's Vi as he takes his time, gets 360 gold for his troubles. We got a mid lane fight. Encore quickly demolishing Yaoyao. Grim Deliverance right on top of Hope. Is he taking any damage? Finally, Karis gets into the fray and gets a big shutdown bounty for himself. Needs to escape the grasp of Flandre. And because there's no public execution available anymore, there's no way to lock down Karis. So some consolation prizes being awarded over to WE in getting some gold back for themselves, but it is still a 9,000 gold deficit that they have to overcome.
Yeah, I think that WE, like, the game plan here is just denying the record. So going for Hope there is actually really big because he needs to be there to push the towers down as the ADC. So maybe denying the record here with just that kill alone.
Weaver's Wall cuts off any retreat path for Yaoyao, gets flicked right back into Flandre's waiting arms. Cube has teleported in and says, oh god, I don't want to be here anymore. Tries to run away. Shanks, does he have another seismic shove in time to punt him back? Not going to find it. About able to arcane shift away from any danger from the Pandas. as they are taking up position up in this blue quadrant jungle, continuing to just stranglehold all the resources, all the gold from WE, and it's just clinical gameplay from what many consider to be the best team in the LPL.
2 minutes remaining until the record has escaped them, and when are you going to get another opportunity like this? I think that AL need to go for this. They're going to use the Herald to get some more gold, but they will basically have like this reset and then a minute. So they'd need to, regroup. There's no towers, really.
Arrow,
I mean, they could just go for it here.
Shove, and the Rift Herald knock-up. Vi is going road rage driving on this Herald. Tarzan just adding insult to injury. And all Monki can do is say, guys, don't worry, I'm getting a Grom.
Are they going for it? Are they going to try to end? This would break the record. They still have a minute and a half.
A minute and 50 seconds. A minute and 50 seconds. Anyone's legend. Someone told them. Someone told them the script. They're trying to make it happen.
No
they
way.
Want to make history happen right here, right now. Yaoyao pulls them in, but Flandre's there to back him up with the public execution, diving under a Nexus turret. Maybe it was a little too bold and ambitious for anyone's legend to pull off. They retreat. They lost Kael. The record will not be broken today, as WE will defend their base.
We've still got a minute. Kael can respawn. Maybe we can... I think it's probably done. But I actually think AL were going for it. I think they were going for the record because there is no reason to try to end the game like that unless you were going for the record. But they can't get it done. They have a minute left to tie the record, so it's probably not... Unless they can take Baron right now and win in the next 40 seconds, I think it's elapsed.
Win. You have 45 seconds and counting to do it. Anyone's legend. Just
or you just run.
Screw it.
We just run for the Nexus?
You have to clear one Nexus turret, though, so you can't do it without a minion wave. And anyone's legend, they're taking way too long to push this. I mean, the Baron take itself is going to be about 15 seconds at best.
I think it's done.
Yeah.
I think it's done, Raafaa. I think they can't make it.
Well, the record
that's heartbreaking.
Can't be made, so anyone's legend, they're going to take their time. They're going to make sure that they're not fumbling any steps along the way and make sure it's as clean as possible.
So, Bin, Angel, and On, I think, are the only 3 players remaining in the LPL that are still on that Sooning roster that got the record. Maybe they're watching this and going, thank God.
Oh, nice
hook.
Hook from Yaoyao. Shanks forced to flash away, but the response is that much greater. Yaoyao goes down for his attempt, and Monki forced to back off from Flandre's Jbetto, who is just running the Rift. Level 15 on this Jbetto. 3 levels above pretty much everyone on the side of WE, and the public execution sends him into the back line, flashing on top of about. The cleanse won't do jack squat for you, buddy. You're still getting sliced by Dami Mommy herself, and here comes the Vault Breaker into the cease and desist, pulls in Yaoyao as well. Shanks goes a little too deep, but the Nexus turrets are destroyed. Monki, with one last Hail Mary attempt, will go down swinging, but nothing rewarded. The true king of the jungle runs this Rift, and his name is Tarzan, the MVP of the regular season. Anyone's legend with a clean 3-0 sweep over WE.
They are, I think it was a minute and 1 second off the record there. That was a ridiculous stop. Unbelievable. How quick that series was. I'm kind of speechless. Like, first of all, I want to say there is nothing to say about like analysis. AL are just levels above WE. But to win in 2026 in that fashion, when we've seen games get flipped and how late they go and Elders and Souls, I don't think there was a single Soul taken in that entire game. Sorry, in that entire series.
I mean, what else is there to say? We predicted this matchup. We predicted the score. And I think the only thing I can say that we didn't necessarily call to happen was Flandre just completely destroying the top lane matchup. We talked about how Monki was going to have to overcome Tarzan, and for what it's worth, Monki was able to respond pretty decently throughout the series. Game 2 and Game 3 had strong openers in the jungle. Karis in that Game 2 actually had a lead over Shanks, almost living up to the graphic that we had presented, that you can be better than Shanks. Bot lane, I can forgive because About's a rookie. And Yaoyao is I think is also a rookie, or at least fairly